We are live, baby. Let me pop out this non-alcoholic beverage, man. Something to take the edge off, man. Some ginger beer. Man, we late. We fucking 42 minutes late, y'all. 42. So tonight we supposed to be talking about Kennel Blindness, man. Oh, it look like we got one person up in here. Who's up in here, man? Make a comment, man. Let me know it ain't just me. Oh, they gone. They probably had stuff more important to do. Let me run my checks. Make sure we moving and we grooving. Hold on. Busy. All right, man. So I probably offended everybody. And ain't too many people going to join in because I'm late. Let me run my check, though. We're talking about kennel blindness, guys. Kennel blindness, guys. Let me just check. Make sure we live. Oh, no, it's right there. Let me see myself. Boom, there I go. Oh, no, it's right there. All right, so we live. Today we're talking about kennel blindness. We got one person. Oh, that was me. That was me. We talking about kennel blindness, right? What is kennel blindness? Kennel blindness was a phrase Doro Rico Bully Camp, my guy. I knew my man in the building. I'm late, brother. How the dogs doing, man? How your dogs doing, man? How the job? How the fam, man? Dorio Bully, Rico Bully Camp, my mans. We got 5 people jumped up in here. Hey, y'all been waiting. Because I know y'all have to be waiting for this live because I dropped so many videos that if you are looking at any notifications, your notifications go crunkly but ballistic. You know what I'm saying? I'll just give you let me just look right here real quick before we get into it. How many? Now, I'm going to go in. All right, man, it's all good here, my man. Rico Bully Camp. I can just go ahead and say how many posts I done made. So I only really do posts when I'm on my days off. So I got like 4 days on, 3 days off. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But really, the first day, I'm just pretty much out of it. So it's really not even a 3 days off. It's really like 2 days off. And then one of the days you're going to be working on a house. So really, I got like 1 day off like everybody else. But on those days is when I post. So let me just see how many posts I done made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 posts just on YouTube. And we're not even counting the shorts. We're not even counting the reels. We're not even counting the posts. So let's just say another 10 posts. So 20, 30 posts in like a 3-day span. But let's get into it. Today we're talking about kennel blindness, guys. What is kennel blindness? Kennel blindness in a nutshell is the inability to see a serious flaw or flaw in a dog that you plan on doing some big stuff with. You know, it's having a dog or dogs. It's a situation where you got a bully a Cane Corso, a Presa Canary that basically has a flaw. It's fallen out of breed type, or it has some kind of something that would get it docked a lot of points, or something that would have it just not be able to be recognized as breed type. So basically, we used to talk about kennel blindness, something that was talked about, let's just say 15 to 20 years ago in the bully game. But I'm gonna just go like 10 years ago, 12 years ago in the bully game, when I really started learning about these bullies. So you'd have a scenario kennel blindness is you'd have a person with a dog, and this dog would have a bully. Let's just keep it on bullies for now. A dip in the back, or which is like, a deformity, kind of not a deformity, but a perfect bully would have a straight back. Your dog might have a dip in the back. Your dog might have easty westy feet. Your dog might have an underbite. Your dog might have an underbite. Your dog might have cross eyes, but it really didn't really pertain to something as serious as that, but more so easty westy feet, a high rear, a roach back that's not straight, or it's a dog that if you tried to go to the show with this dog to try to win, it would be at a disadvantage, because it basically has a flaw, or something that's just not going to be able to go up against a dog that has everything perfectly well with it. But tonight we're going to get into some deeper scenarios of kennel blindness, and we're going to talk about a few aspects of it. So my wife has a few keynotes on here, so we're just going to follow the keynotes, then we're going to go all the way around the moon and back. But is it good? It's good for you to start somewhere. So what that means is, if you're thinking about breeding some dogs and you want to get into the dogs, it's good for you to start somewhere. Have a start and always have a push to the finish, whether it's just getting some of the dogs and just learning about them and learning what's wrong with them, learning what you can improve on them, how do people improve. But, it's good to start somewhere. You don't have to come in the game with the best dogs out there. But you have to improve on your kennel. And that's a big part. It's funny, my wife wrote that down. You have to improve on your kennel. It's important that kennel blindness stops people from improving on their kennels. It stops them because it doesn't allow them to grow. They got these dogs and they got easty westy feet. They got an underbite. It got a crooked tail. They got, or whatever the case may be. But they're going to push forward with this dog, even though it's seriously flawed, or they have the flaw. And not necessarily that they shouldn't push forward or through it, but they should have a plan on trying to steer away from it. So, it gets deep. It gets deep, man. So basically, what it boils down to is, if you have a dog with flaws and it throws flaws into the next litter, easty westy feet, underbite, blindness, some kind of flaw, that's just something that's going to get it disqualified from the ring, or some kind of health concern or something like that, you definitely don't want to breed that dog again. I mean, if a dog is throwing some flaws, that's a red flag. That's a dog that you just want to take out of your program. If you have a dog with a flaw and you have to breed him, okay. But if he throws that flaw into other puppies, you got to stop. You got to take him out of your breeding program. So basically, we're going to get into some other concepts of kennel blindness. Some other concepts, more concepts of kennel blindness are aggression. So the American Bully is not supposed to show aggression. A guard dog is not supposed to show fear. So if you have a guard dog that's showing fear and he doesn't have a solid temperament, I wouldn't breed that dog. Especially if it's, a guard dog, a large dog that, like a Connie Corso, Presa Canary, German Shepherd, or shit, any dog for that matter. If the dog is showing fear, scared of stuff, scared of his own shadow, scared of the wind blowing, I wouldn't breed that dog, not at one time, because a fearful dog is a dangerous dog. Next, we got some examples. We had a dog, Debo, here. Debo was, he was a Camelot dog. And I was watching all this stuff on the internet, and I wanted a Camelot dog so bad. It's an old bloodline with some red dogs. They come in red, predominantly red colored. They got big bones, big heads, wide bodies. Most of them are really short and wide, But when I got Debo, he was emaciated. He was like, he was damn near dead when I brought him. He almost died on the way back. While I was bringing him back, he was literally dying. They had him out in somewhere in Virginia. I forget where the hell is that. Pocomoke, something crazy, some shit, West Virginia. I think he was from Pocomoke or somewhere deep down in Virginia. And this dude had these Camelot dogs, and he had brought two dogs from the same litter and bred them together and everything. But Debo has serious anger issues to the point where when I went to discipline Debo, he got aggressive towards me. And also, he would see another male and they'd be ready to breed or mate, and somebody's in heat or something, Debo would just straight up attack that male. So with that being said, I said, I can't do the aggression. Here at Coil Kennels, we cannot do aggression. So I got rid of Debo because I already know that if I'm breeding dogs and I sell the dogs, that's not something I want to be putting out there. And I can handle him. If he's just a one-man dog, or maybe somebody wanted a crazy dog that was nuts, that would be cool. We did have one litter with Debo, and I am in contact. I can get contact with about 2 or 3 dogs. But with Debo, he was a Camelot dog, and we bred him to another female that was DD canine blood. And, one thing I can say is Debo was a smaller dog, so he was cool, but he just wouldn't back down. He had that Camelot in him, basically deep red-nosed dogs. And he was a bully. He looked cute like a little teddy bear, but he wasn't playing no games with no other males. When the females went in the heat, he was just ready to fight on sight. Also, he was just too aggressive for me. So we got rid of him. We got him out of our program. And the funny thing about it is, now when I sold these puppies from this litter, I told everybody this is DD canine bloodline. So if I sold you a dog and I told you it's DD canine bloodline, that's not me trying to like claim some fame or something. That was me just telling people this is the bloodline. This is what kind of dog this is. This is an attack dog. This is an attack dog. This is a DD canine blood. This dog, you go put DD canine in there, Hawk, you're gonna see a dog that attacks. So not to mention, man, not to put it out there, but the person that had one of these dogs was fighting back and forth. They were doing a lot of fighting in the house with what's it called, marital spats or domestic bullcrap. Tussling and rustling and tussling. But what you got to understand is these DD canine bloodline dogs and these Camelot bloodline dogs are serious shit. They are the real deal. You don't have to, I wonder what this dog gonna do if it goes down. Is it gonna protect me? Is it scared? I'm gonna just tell you like this. They got the rat fighting and doing their thing in the house with the dog loose. Because they didn't understand that the dog is a DD-Canine bloodline dog. And they got the fighting, weapons got pulled out, and the dog ended up going after the person with the weapon and ripped their thigh open like Jaws. And all you can see is like the fat cells. And it was a big rip. And the thing about that is, I'm glad I only had one litter of those, but it's like those kind of dogs you just can't put in certain situations. And I thought that me explaining to them that this is a DD-Canine dog, this is a Camelot dog, that they would understand. But some people just don't get it. They just hear a name. They don't do any research on the bloodlines, this and that. But that's neither here nor there. But basically, I'm glad I kind of stopped breeding those kind of dogs because everybody can't handle them. That's exactly what those dogs are serious. That's exactly why I'm telling you, you can't breed aggressive dogs, long term, or dogs that are like protection dogs that are real serious dogs. So the dogs we have are serious, but they're not like warriors or anything. But when it comes to kennel blindness, that relates because I was able to clearly see that this dog was aggressive. He was everything I thought he would be. But when I got firsthand vision of this, it was too much for me to handle. We can't have fighting. You can't be aggressive towards other dogs. So that brings me to like the main point. When it comes to aggression, American bullies are not supposed to be aggressive or trying to go after people or be too crazy, My dogs, of course, if they see a stranger that startles them, they're going to be alert. If you come in my house and they don't really know anyone, they're going to be, ready. They're not going to be like, they're not friendly type dogs, but they're not aggressive. They're not trying to bite anyone or they haven't bit anyone. So, but if you have a dog that bites someone or goes after someone, get rid of it. That's a big part of kennel blindness. People got dogs that are aggressive and then they don't want to get rid of them. So let's try to keep this on track. Next, let's get into it. Kennel blindness is also not having someone to hold you accountable to tell you your dogs are trash or your dogs don't look great or your dogs are not, something that somebody else would want. How do I put this in the right perspective? If you're out here breeding dogs, you should be definitely trying to breed something that fits the standard of that breed. For instance, if you're breeding American bullies, they should have American bully features. They should be thick boned. They should be, short muzzle, wide head, lots of chest, correct tails, not a whole lot of wrinkles looking like a bulldog, but you should be trying to make your dog look somewhat like a champion dog. You should be trying to push towards being somewhere close to the champion dog, whether it's a UKC champion, whether it's an ABKC champion, whether it's an RBA or whatever, all these damn different kennels champions, you know what I mean? You should be trying to breed a dog that has some of those American bully features, exaggerated heads and bone, If we're breeding American bullies with big heads and big bones and big feet, and you're over here breeding skinny dogs that look like pit bulls, you are not breeding. You're not understanding, or you're not able to see that what a bully is, and you're not able to breed in that standard. Why is that important? It is important because you don't want to be putting your time and effort into something that's not going to go anywhere. You know, you're trying to accomplish something with these dogs, whether it's financial gain, whether it's bettering the breed, whether it's trying to win some trophies, or just be recognized for having the best dog. If your dog is not bully enough, you need to try to figure out how can you get that dog more bully, more of a bull. I see a lot of people, man, and this is right here after this live. I'm gonna stop talking about people, kinda, you know what I mean? I'm gonna still have to talk my shit, you know what I mean? But it's a lot of people that I seen out here in this bully game that could have been making some serious moves, man, with the dogs, but they don't have nobody to tell them what to do or check them. You know what I'm saying? So instead of them breeding towards a standard or breeding towards a goal, they just doing anything. They just doing any and everything. And what do I mean by doing any and everything? Let's get into it. Kennel blindness. The inability to see a serious flaw in a dog or anything that you're doing that could potentially hurt the brand of your kennel or prohibit the sale of your dogs or the progression of yourself, your kennel, or the people around you. Okay? The number one thing that is a blindness that people don't see or get is nasty attitudes, disrespectfulness, fighting with other people on the internet, beef, going back and forth, beef. If you predicate, like that word, right? If you predicate your kennel off of beef, and let's say I got 5Gs, man. You know, I be having 5Gs sometimes. I want to spend my bread. But I go to your channel, your page, and you just beefing. You beefing with this kennel. You beefing with that kennel. You beefing with the baby moms. You beefing with your kennel partners. You beefing with this kennel. You beefing with that kennel. Beefing. I'm not bringing no 5Gs to you. Why would I bring my 5Gs to you? Something go wrong, miscommunication, something get flip-flop. Now we got a whole big situation on our hands. People want to go places and spend their money where they can be appreciated, respected. If you disrespect me, I can't buy any more dogs from you. You know, I can have a problem with a dog can get sick, a dog might not turn out the way it's supposed to turn out. But if you disrespect me, you lose me as a customer. So a lot of you guys be just beefing too much, beefing. You know, and people that want to, it's crazy that I have to even say this, but I think the new generation, and I'm part of that generation as well, y'all just don't get it. Y'all just saying, y'all not going nowhere with that beef. You think you tough. I'm tough. I'm tough, man. I realized a long time ago, if you tough, you could join the Army, you could join the Navy SEALs. You know what I'm saying? You could join the French. They got some shit in France called the something. I forget what the hell it is. This army, you just go and fly to Africa and you just join it, and you can go there. You can be a mercenary. You can go to Africa and fight on the beach. What a lot of people go to Thailand and fight Muay Thai and get the shit knocked out of them for free. You can go to UFC. You can go to Florida and fight in the middle of the street. You can bare knuckle box. If you think you're tough, you can do anything in the world to prove you're tough. But getting on the internet running your mouth, that don't prove that you're tough. It just don't. So when you do that, just realize that don't mean you're tough. And it's not helping your kennel. It's not helping your brand. And I have to spend a lot of time on this because I see so many people, man, they just beefing. Man, don't get this person ain't breed the dog. Man, this person owe me for some papers. this the dog, the dog. Kennel blindness. They can't see how their negativity is going to affect the progression of their kennel or the progression of their dogs. It's just going to stop them. Nobody's going to want to spend their money with y'all. Okay, so next we got another funny thing, man, that I want to touch on, man. And this is going to touch a lot of people's hearts, but it's not to nobody personal. Breeding dogs that you didn't pay for. What do I mean by that? Someone has a dog, they want to get rid of it. Now you want to accept the dog, and you're gonna breed the dog. But what you don't understand is everybody is watching you, and they see that you didn't pay for this dog. They see you didn't raise this dog, but they see now you got this dog that somebody done gave you, and now you're gonna breed it. People are watching you, so that kind of fits into this other category I'm going to talk about, which is basically people are watching every move you make. Kennel blindness. So every move you make is somebody watching that move. So when you get that mutt from somebody for free, then you breed it, you sell some puppies, you make some money. Okay, now what? Now you gotta, how can you build on that? You know what I mean? You didn't purchase the dog. You didn't do no background checks on this dog. You don't know nothing about this dog. You just got a dog, bred it, didn't even have it for a year, didn't promote it, didn't do nothing with it, and now you breed it and you're selling puppies off of it. And the saddest part about this is y'all don't even got papers on the dog. So to another respectful breeder like me or other respectful breeders, we know you didn't pay for that dog. Somebody basically gave you their leftovers, or you came up on a dog because you have no papers. And we know you don't have no papers, because the first thing we're going to ask you is, you got papers? There's plenty of people that got nice studs. First thing I ask them, you got any papers on that dog? I don't see the papers. That means you don't got no papers. You can have the best dog in the world. If it don't have no papers at all, I can still get you some papers, but we can still register that dog. But at the same time, if you dealing with big time breeders, they're not going to want to do nothing with that. And, you know, it's got to be one exceptional dog in order for me to want to deal with it and do a single registry. A single registry is basically when you start a dog off with no papers. I mean, you can do it. I mean, if it's a bad dog, shout out to the 3 people that's in the chat, baby. Shout out to the other 6 people that came in and went out. I'm just rambling on because I ain't getting no real back and forth about the kennel blindness. But if y'all got any questions about kennel blindness, go ahead and put it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And I'll respond back to it. But basically, what it boils down to is when you get a stud or you get a female dog, make sure you do your research on that dog or the research on that breeder, or you find out something about that dog. Don't just be getting dogs from anywhere and breeding them. That's a sign of kennel blindness, because you're not thinking about what you're doing. And another thing, you know, that's a real sign of that you're not really paying attention to what's going on. And let's try to bring it back to the beginning. What is kennel blindness? You know, kennel blindness is the inability to see a flaw in a dog. And that can hurt the breed, because let's say you're breeding dogs with flaws. Then you got all these dogs, and all the people start to point out your flaws. And, you know, people talk, hey, man, he got them kink tails over there. A kink tail is a tail that doesn't go in the right direction, or it's curled up tail or whatever. Is Bishop retired, or he's having a new upcoming stud? Bishop ain't retired. The funny thing, man, it's my man, Rico. The funny thing about Bishop is, you know, Bishop is almost basically flawless when it comes to the American bullies. Like, as far as like, I'm noticing like a lot of flaws with these big dogs, these high name fancy dogs, man. King tails, crooked tails, cleft palates, very, very bad back legs. The back legs on these big dogs are not good at all. A lot of issues with joints because of the size of these dogs, I think it is, and the development. They're top heavy, so I don't know. Their back legs basically don't get no exercise or something. I don't know, but the back legs are not really forming that well on a lot of these big dogs. But Bishop, the thing with Bishop is his size. You know, he's not the biggest dog, and then that's just it. That's the only problem we got with Bishop is his size. If Bishop was 100 pounds or 150 pounds, he'd be the best stud in the world. But we did have a breeding plan with Bishop, but unfortunately, we don't have one of our dogs anymore that we're going to do the breeding with him. We was going to breed him to Athena, but Athena's not with us no more. So we gonna think, we're gonna see what we're gonna do with Bishop, but he ain't going nowhere. That's my guard dog. That's my dog, man. He ain't going nowhere, but he ain't retired. But we do plan on keeping the stud from Bishop. I mean, from Gorilla, and we plan on keeping the stud from Gorilla. Yeah, man, she did. She bit the dust on us, man. It was a seriously bad accident. She went after a deer, and it didn't work out for her. She went after a deer, and let's just say it didn't work out for her. But I ain't really tell nobody, but yeah, she went after a deer. And that wasn't a good idea. But we was gonna breed Athena with Bishop, but we're not gonna no more. So we gotta yeah, man, it's tough, man. You know, you go through it sometimes. Like just when you think in this bully game, yo, just when you think you reaching to the top, something happens, man. I loved her too, man, but we love her, man. She gonna be remembered. She got a son. Oh my God, that brings me up to this. So Athena's son is 67 pounds. 5 months. 5 months, 67 pounds. And he's the same color, but he's all the way out Colorado. So basically, 70 pounds at 5 months. That's a big boy. And that brings me back to another part of my kennel blindness. Having someone to tell you what to do and what your next move should be is very important. You need it, man. You need somebody to tell you what your next move should be. You don't gotta listen. You just weigh the options. So I got King. And I got King and my man Kev from Florida Family Bullies. That's my kennel partner and somebody to keep me in check, keep me honest, keep me doing some dumb shit. Cause some of us will do things like that's not good. You know what I mean? For business or good to be making it to the top. Like I might breed a dog that's not 100% breed type. I don't have a problem with that. I like athletic dogs. But you gotta have somebody to remind you it's not about you. You know, you want to breed that skinny dog because you love how fast it is and you just love that skinny dog. You know, it can do things. It excites you. But you realize, let me at least breed that skinny dog to something that's super big, super boned out, super massive. Because a lot of people who don't understand too, these big, gigantic XL studs that's out there, these big, gigantic dogs, they are meant to be bred to skinnier dogs or muscular, slimmer dogs. That's because that's how you have a balance of the two. You have a dog that is cut up and a dog that is, you know, able to function, and it also has that pedigree of that big old dog, but it still can function. What's going on now is people take the biggest, baddest, most overweight stud and breed it to the biggest, baddest, most overweight female. Bam! Now you got the biggest of all biggest, of baddest, of overweighted, extra muscleless, biggest of heads, useless champion dog. And all the other dogs that don't fit the standard become like outcasts, because basically if when you breed those big monstrosities, those freaks of nature to other big freaks of nature, you're gonna have some dogs that come out good and some dogs that just are deformed, dwarfed. So for every one champion, you might have 1,000 dogs that are just seriously flawed. Maybe they got some serious bad genetics, cleft palates, tails. It's a lot of shit, man. Bad legs. Yes, my Rigo say nature times boot was a perfect letter. Yo, let me tell you, that nature times boots breeding was great, because your dog's head is big as hell, bro. That dude, his head, and it took him a while to mature, but when you look at him, you see that chunky head, and you see how the genetics came through on him. And he's not overdone, but he's still young, but he's not overdone. But his head is big, and he's a nice fur and all that. So just imagine if you take a nice, well-developed dog, like what the hell is your dog name again? I forget your dog's name. I can't think of it right now. Bane. If you take a dog like Bane, and then you breed him with something that's got more muscles and bone, or a thick, fat dog, you're going to have a nice balance. Because most people want a dog that's big and bad, but they don't understand, they don't understand what it takes to keep one of those dogs alive. Prime example, it's a guy that I talked to that brought a dog from Big Dogs Romania. He paid $6,500 for this dog. Biggest, baddest dog in the world. He left the dog in the car. I went in the store for 5 minutes, came back out, the dog dead. Boom, $6,500 gone. Why? Because he didn't understand these dogs look great on television, and these are champion bred dogs, which means if you notice when they're in the gym, when they're in the show, they got ice packs on these dogs. They got fans in front of these dogs, because these dogs will die because they got too much muscle. They can't regulate their temperature. Just like a bodybuilder. After the bodybuilder show, all the bodybuilders are laid out in the grass, dying on the ground. Look it up. After the bodybuilding show is over, those big motherfuckers, they on the ground dying, and they back there drinking water because they about to die. Same thing with these XL bullies, pocket bullies, anybody else that's breeding dogs that are just super huge. Dogs that are being bred for their size and their freaky tendencies. Because the American Bully especially is a dog that's being bred just for looks. It has no purpose. It's not a hunting dog. It's just a dog just for looks. Who can be the biggest? Who can be the baddest? So, if me personally right now, we're in a stage where we're breeding family pets. But we're starting to push the envelope towards champions and dogs with, freaky sizes. And if I show y'all Gorilla right now, y'all gonna lose your mind. She about 100 pounds. She looked like a fucking elephant or something. But what I mean is we're pushing it, but our dogs are going to be more cleaner. You can still win a show and get some accolades with a dog that's not super overdone. When we got King, we wanted to take King and make King take him to the show and make him a champion and champ him out. But during the process of King growing, he started having an issue with his leg. Really, what that was caused by, I can't really say. Probably overfeeding as a young puppy. Just the rapid growth of an XL bully. But one thing I can say is these XL bullies, they don't have much angulation in their back legs. So you can't have it both, man. You can't have the biggest 200-pound dog with all this muscle and chest, and then the legs be perfect. Some of the dogs are not going to come out 100%. You know what I mean? They're going to have issues. Bad. They're going to have good days. They're going to have bad days. They may have a good year. They may have a bad year because they're just not bred to be sound. They're just bred for size, you know. But people don't know this. So they go out and buy a dog, and next thing you know, the dog is dead because they done went somewhere and not realizing this dog can't cool itself off. This dog, you know, is too big. Or this dog's face is smushed in too much. It can't breathe. So, you know, that's also kennel blindness as well, because you can't see the fact that you're breeding a dog that has serious health issues when it comes to breathing. That's why Bossy's, she had her dogs, you know, with more nose on them, and Bossy bred dogs with more nose. She bred dogs, you know, with longer legs, longer bodies that could withstand the heat and temperature. That's why if you see that nose on the Bossy dog, it seems like it's a long nose, and it doesn't really match the bullies, a lot of the bullies, but she tried to do the dog some justice. But now I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. We got this Brazilian stuff in. These dogs from Brazil. A dog named Klaus. You look it up, Klaus, and these dogs are huge and they can't breathe. And it's okay to breed these dogs. I'm not gonna say it's bad because it's a part of the breed. But you just gotta understand, when you double up on those kind of dogs, you're gonna get dogs dying left and right when you give them to the public. And that can be considered kennel blindness too, because, you know, the average person is not going to understand that. So you might want to, even though it's something that everyone is doing and it's more to breed standard, you might still want to try to breed a dog that's more healthier. It's a few more things I want to get into when it comes to the kennel blindness. But back to my man, Rico Bully Camp. We keeping a stud off of Gorilla and King. We're going to keep the biggest stud off of that, or the most colorful, most sound stud off of that. Gorilla's grandfather's 185 pounds. He's the biggest XL in Maryland. Nobody really knows him like that, but his name is Lou Gotti. State line bulls, Pro Bull blood. But we're going to mix him with King, which is a more athletic dog, proven. Thank you. He's a more athletic, proven dog, King, and Gorilla is actually a proven dog too. You can't do a lot with Gorilla or King like that. You can do a lot. Like, I took him out 100 degrees before. You just got to know what you're doing. But in the summertime, you can actually take a dog like King down to like 96 pounds, and you can take Gorilla down to like, you can have these dogs skinny and have some fun with them if you like. So that's the good thing about these dogs, you know. But yeah, the kennel blindness, man, you just got to be aware and able to see things that is going to cause you trouble or prevent you from growing in the future. And definitely, I want to tell y'all, like, when you get a dog, own your dogs. Don't be like not getting your papers. That's another kennel blindness thing. I'm gonna get on that. Selling dogs with no papers, selling dogs with no, you know, without the vet checks and health check. Personally, the next litters we have are all going to the vet. The number one thing people are really asking me, and see, this is kennel blindness right here. This is me telling you what I've learned. Now, if I'm telling you this and you don't listen, then that's kennel blindness. You're being blind to the facts. And I'm just giving all the free information for everybody that just watches this live, be it today or 10 years from now. Everybody's asking about vet check. Where's my vet check? They don't even care about their registration papers. They want that vet. I don't know why. Like, for instance, look, this is a 9-in-1 canine shot, right? Spectrum 9. Now look, you see that, right? Now that's a 9. Now they done had 2 of these, And then I already had like 4 or 5 of those 5-in-1s. But man, people still want that vet check. Vet check, vet papers. And it's like, dude, that's going to add thousands of dollars, $1,200 to the cost of the dogs. And sometimes I have to sell these dogs at a discounted price because I just need to make space or make room, and I want the dog to have a good home. The most important thing is getting a fair price for your dog, whether that's just getting enough money to buy some dog food, because don't nobody care about what you put into the dogs. That's your decision, what you want to do. So sometimes you got to sell a dog and take a loss, but it ain't really a loss because you're going to take that money and put it with the dogs. So you might not gain any profit or, monetary gain, but your dogs is going to get something. So Kennel Blindness, as you move up in the game, as you learn, now from now on, all our puppies are going to go to the vet. And we're going to have a paper from the vet, certifying them and giving them to the people, because people are spending their hard-earned money on these dogs and they want that vet paper. Don't ask me why. I mean, I could go to a vet that's in the back of a car that just print out some papers. I could go to the mobile vet lady. That's what I might do. I might just go pull up on the lady that goes to Tractor Supply on Saturday. That's, got me thinking right now. Instead of just taking them to my vet and paying $150 or $200 a dog, I might just pull up on the regular Tractor Supply and get the $65 joint. Because people want to know that they just want that paper. They don't even care about their registration paper. They definitely want that vet check paper. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with it. Because if I'm giving you the dog, you're taking it to the vet anyway. But it don't matter. I got people, they got their dog, they went to the vet, and they still asking for the damn paper. I'm the vet, buddy. I'm the dog's vet. Me. But after this, the next litter, all we going to a vet. I'm going to call my vet and see how much they're going to charge me. Because they want to charge you $35 for each puppy for their first visit. And then they want to charge for the exam and then the shots. So it's probably $150 to $200 a dog. But as you move on in this game or this business or this venture, people are going to expect more from you. So the same bad habits or the same old habits are not going to work. People are going to want to see that you start to train your dogs. People are going to want to see those vet checks. People are going to start wanting to see DNA. So you got to write all this stuff down and start realizing, man, I got to start getting the DNA. I got to get the vet check. I got to do all these different things. If y'all in the chat, man, say something, man. Where y'all at? Where y'all from? We got 5 people up in here. Say something, man. Let's make this chat live. We got a good 12 minutes left. But, that's like Kennel Blindness right there. I'm hearing these people asking me for stuff, but instead of me growing and doing what they ask, I just do the same old bullshit. Or I don't do it, even though it's going to cost me money. Okay, we got Detroit in the house, cuz. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all got family in Detroit the whole time. The Bryces. Yeah, the Bryces, man. I ain't even, my great-grandfather, last name was Bryce. And I got family in Detroit I don't even know. Shit, they don't even know I exist either, or that we got a whole nother set of family down in Philly. Whatever, but Detroit in the house, baby. Tone 313. Tone, you got some dogs? What you breeding out there? But so back to what I was saying. The people asking for it, I'm giving it to them. I'm taking notes. So whatever they ask for, I'm improving. Instead of just staying blind to the fact that they want that paper, I'm gonna get it for them. As a matter of fact, I want to get it for them. I'm ready to get it for them. I can't wait to get it for them. I don't even care if it costs me no money. If it costs me money, if I lose some money out of the deal, I'm willing and ready to check and do what they ask me for. I want to give them their papers, yo. I mean, take them to the vet, straight up. So let me think of some more things of kennel blindness. Yeah, and let's just go into it like this. Paperwork. Ooh, we getting live. We got 8 people up in here. Paperwork. A lot of people, you know, okay, somebody saying that Mercy Ferguson said vet check is true, but I learned it helps because people can be so funny with pups. After bringing them home, they'll try to find all the excuse, which is why we do vet checks, papers, and contracts. That's another thing. Contracts. As you move along in this game, you got to start, writing all this stuff down, man. Writing these facts down, because definitely contracts is important, because depending on what state you in or who you dealing with, you might get a disgruntled customer that try to come back and ruin your day. I mean, whatever, because you definitely might want a contract. And people are funny. And the thing about it is, with me, I'm kind of like 100% confident on my dogs being like immune. My wife is like, don't tell them that. Don't tell anyone that because if something happens, then they're going to blame you. But listen, if that dog make it out of my house, out of Baltimore City, I know that thing ain't catching no parvo. I know it. If you make it out of here, after all them shots, and I take you down to the dock, they got bums down there at the harbor. They got every nationality. They got rats. They got cats. They got geese. They got goose. Nigga, what? They got everything downtown. If I take that dog downtown and walk him through the dirt or run him out in the field around here, we got foxes. We got possums. We got raccoons. We got dirt. Alley cats. And only God knows what else. I've seen hawks. I done seen owls. But after that dog goes through the area out here, that dog is pretty much immune. So, but whatever. But you still got to watch it. You still got to watch it. You still got to watch these people, man. And I got a contract when I got my dog. It was so funny because I got a contract. Don't do this with the dog. Don't do that with the dog. And I respected everything. I respected not breeding a dog before 18 months. Almost. Almost. I mean, I was probably like a month off or something. You know what I mean? But I respected that. But, I respected it. I didn't just wait till the dog turned 1 and just bred him. I ain't breed him to no pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? But I respected the thing up until the point I realized this is my dog. And that's another thing. You get these contracts, but man, when you buy that dog, that's your dog. And like people say, you should be able to do whatever you want with your dog if you pay for it. And that's the truth, man. Should nobody be able to tell you what to do with your dog after you buy it, man. Coming back talking about that. Your dog, man. You paid your money, whether it's $50 to $10,000. You can't nobody tell you what to do with your dog. Whatever you want to breed them with. You want to breed them to a pit bull? You want to breed them to a fox? Do it. Shit. You get a dog from me, you want to breed it to a mastiff? I ain't here. I don't care. I want to see the pups. I don't recommend certain things, but no, don't do that. Somebody said, what up, y'all? Somebody said, what up, y'all? I can't see what they is, though. They got like a little small thing, man. We starting to really get live up in this joint, man. That's one thing I like is lives, yo. I be watching them. I spend my time watching lives, but I never go live with the people like that because I get mad if I go to say something. If I get mad if somebody don't say something back, man. If I get on your live and I'm like, yo, I'm here, and you don't say shit back, I'm gonna be pissed. Let's just say, live your life. Dogs, it says. Live your life, dogs, it says. But we're talking about kennel blindness, guys. And one thing I can say, man, another thing about kennel blindness, this is a true secret, man. If you're trying to get your kennel started or you're trying to get in the game, don't be scared to spend that money. Don't be scared to spend that money. That's really blindness because you're trying to be cheap. You're trying to be cheap. And you can clearly see that the best dogs cost the most money. And trying to be cheap, man, it's not going to get you where you want to be. So let me do a prime example to break it down for you. If you're trying to have $100,000 dogs, if you're trying to breed dogs that cost, let's just put it like this. Whatever you're trying to sell a dog for, let's say you want to sell dogs for $3,500. You want to sell dogs for $4,500. Or let's just say you want to produce dogs that look like dogs that cost $4,500. Or if you want to produce the best dogs and you know the best dogs cost $4,500, because it's going to take you a while to get to that money. Don't be afraid, yo, to spend that bread, yo. Being cheap is going to hold you back. I'm telling you, I was cheap. The first dog I really jumped out there. What I would do is I would drive as far as I had to go to try to get the dog for a good price. Like if I wanted a certain thing, I'll drive 1,000 miles, 1,400 miles. Let's just say I'll drive to Atlanta, Georgia, or South Carolina. I would drive 750 miles. I drive 1,000 miles, whatever, to try to save money. Sometimes it actually works out because a lot of times, not only is the price better somewhere else, but the dogs are better as well. You know, like I'm gonna tell you straight up, my Cane Corso is like one of the best Cane Corsos around when it comes to looks. I drove all the way to Cleveland, Ohio to get her on Christmas Eve. Snowflakes was falling down. So true, we drove all the way to Tennessee right before, but I drove to these places, man, and got a dog for a great price. But what I'm learning is, you know, I got lucky a couple times, but a few times, yeah, I'm from Baltimore. I don't know why I say from Baltimore. Okay, you drove from Baltimore. I got lucky a few times, but a few times it was a waste of money. And sometimes you just, you know, you can try to get to where you're going by being cheap. It's going to take you a while to get there. But it's this one kennel that I really wanted a dog from. And at the time, I hit them. They was like, man, 3,000. No. They said 3,000, but I didn't want a dog from them. But I saw the dog that they had, and I realized, okay, that's a dog I could buy. I didn't even know who these guys were until I saw them, and I was like, well, I could get a dog from them. By then, I already had my male. But they was like, I was like, how much a puppy? They like 3,000, but they could have been starting me all the way at the low end. Now they got probably the biggest. They done turned one of the dog that is a grand champion. He's a UKC grand champion, and I'm sure they want 6 to 10K for a puppy. I'm sure of it. I don't even want to ask them because I'm at the point where, like, if I ask you, then, you know, I need to be ready to buy that dog. So I got some stuff in the woodworks where I'm trying to get some land in a spot to be doing that shit. So I'm not gonna call nobody, ask nobody about no dogs to try to upgrade. But definitely, I could have got that dog for 3,000, but now I know that same dog is going to be 6 to 10 because now it's the grand champion. It could be 12. They could want 20. I don't know because they already know, okay, I made this dog a grand champion. It has the looks. And if you buy this dog, more than likely, you can get right in the ring with it. And you can get right in the ring with it, and you're going to guarantee to win. You guarantee to win something. Blow some people out of the water because just the way the puppy looks is already showing you that it's going to blow them out the water. And these people are real ethical breeders and everything like that. So I don't even want to call them and ask them because I don't even want to know because then I'll be trying to save up the money or something crazy. And I ain't got the space right now. Plus, I got my own breedings going down where I'm going to be able to pick the biggest and baddest out of the bunch. So I can just clearly see who's moving the way I need him to move and who got the color and the size. I got a serious litter about to jump off. The baddest litter I've ever had, ever. We're about to end this in about 2 to 3 minutes, y'all. And there's another kennel blindness thing that I want to talk about. It's not really a kennel blindness, but it's blindness. If you got somebody on the right of you or on the left of you, and you see they got a dog that could help you move forward, but you don't want to mess with them because you feel like you should be doing better than them. I'm gonna make it plain and simple for you. You got a friend that got some good dogs. He just did a good breeding. And you know that's a good breeding because you know the moms, you know the dad, and you know what breeding it is. You know the papers is there. You know them puppies is good. But he's asking $3K. He's asking $3,500, $3K for the dogs. And you know, you like, man, shit, if he was selling them for $1,000, I'd get it, or $500, I'd get it. But I ain't gonna get no dog from him because I ain't putting $3,000 in his pocket. I ain't putting $5,000 in his pocket. I'm not gonna help the man next to me because I feel like I should be doing better than him. I want to be in competition with him. I want to show him that I'm better than him. That's blindness because you don't see that opportunity to get that dog that's right next to you. A lot of times, it be them opportunities that's right next to you that y'all don't want to get. And what happens is this. Later on down the line, you're going to look back and say, damn, I should have got that dog. I had the chance. That fucking dog was right there. I could have just paid my little $3K, my little $3,500. It's not little, it's a lot. But in the grand scheme of things, you know what it was worth and you know what you could have paid for it. But you didn't. So that's kind of how I'm going to relate it to me. Gorilla, I got Gorilla because I'm going to tell you the whole story straight up and down. I got Gorilla because I sold somebody a Merle for $1,000, but they were supposed to pay $2,500 for the dog. So boom, they owed me $1,500. Then I sold another dog to somebody else for another Merle for like, I don't even know what it was, probably like $2K or $1,800. At this point, I was just throwing numbers out there. I was being nice. I could have charged this dude I could have charged him $3,500 for this Merle, but I didn't know really what to say or how to do it. I didn't want to be like whatever because it was a payment plan. So one guy got a dog for $2,500. The other guy got the dog for, let's say it was $1,800. Now the guy got the dog for $2,500. Mad about the dude. He found out about the dude for $1,800. Yo, how you gonna charge me more, man? Blah, 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 blah. All this little. I ain't trying to be nasty, but it was girly shit. Because if you already agree to something, you got to stand on that. And if you already got it, what you got going on over here don't got nothing to do with what's going on over here. But I'm gonna tell you how this works out in my favor. So off the break, I'm looking at this as a girly move because you're running your mouth about what somebody else got going on. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But okay, now we got this little situation. You acting like a girl. Meanwhile, you only put up a stack, and this dude's on the payment plan, whatever. But whatever deal ain't got nothing to do with you. So basically, was like, all right, bet. Look, just give us a pup. Because this person didn't want to pay their bill. So basically, it was like, just give us a pup. The pup was Gorilla. So I had a choice to choose which dog I wanted. And out of all the dogs, there was some white dogs. If y'all watch me, y'all know I tell y'all, don't start a kennel off with a white dog. I chose the smallest dog with the best posture. I always choose the dog with either a color that's just way different than everybody else, or I choose the dogs with the most best posture. So I chose Gorilla. Boom. I got a gorilla. Next, I get a call. My man, for the family, kept telling me, get a stud, get a better stud. You need to get a stud, man. You need to get a stud. A stud is a big, bodacious male that's got the muscles, got the stature, the, big head. A stud is a dog, is a male dog that just that people will want to breed to their dog. So just because you think it's a stud, don't mean it's a stud. So my man was like, get a stud, get a stud. So then somebody from a big top kennel called me and said, hey, I got this dog. What you want to do? This is somebody that's up here in the game. Up here. I already knew I had to get a stud because I was listening to my man telling me, you got to get a better stud. You got to get a real stud. So when the opportunity came from right next to me, I took it, boom. When the other opportunity to get that other dog, I said, man, just give it to me, boom. I had to make room and make shit work. Now, 2 years later, I'm about to have the biggest, baddest litter I ever had, and I didn't produce neither one of these dogs. I mean, it makes you feel, it humbles you, because you're like, damn, I ain't produced neither one of these dogs. I didn't produce this female. I didn't produce this male. But these are two hell of dogs. And all you thinking to yourself is, I'm glad I took the opportunity to take these dogs from these two people. Now, mind you, I should have took this dog from this one guy, the gorilla. I should have just brought that dog off the top. But I didn't want to spend the $3,500. Put $3,500 in your pocket, man. You ain't get that from me. You ain't never sold a dog for $3,500. I ain't giving you no $3,500. Meanwhile, I knew I should have spent the money. I just didn't want to. I should have made room and make sure that's a hell of a breed, and I need one of those dogs in my camp. And then on this side, I didn't let that chance slip out of my way. Even though King is not a show ring stud that I'm going to take to the show ring and blast some trophies. But his son going to be in every ring, every show, everywhere. But I took that opportunity, and I could have said, nah, man, I ain't messing with you. I'm going to go somewhere else. But had I go somewhere else, I'd got charged way more for the dog. I'd have charged $5,000, $6,000. They probably put me on a contract for the rest of my life. But we're about to close this, y'all, because we ain't going to go too long. We already over an hour. We got 6 people in here. Shout out to everybody that joined, man. But basically, yeah, Kennel Blindness. Don't be afraid to see the opportunity next to you and take it. Take that opportunity. Take that dog that your man produced. Don't be like this. Nah, man, I'm going to make my own dogs, yo. I got it on my own. And the whole time, that shit right next to you, and you won't take it. And that brings me to another point. There's a lot of dudes out here that I'm in the mix with, that I see with, and they let litter after litter of mine go by, and they didn't take an opportunity. I had a stud. I had a few dogs and a few litters, man, that could have made their kennel. They could have scrapped their whole kennel, grabbed one of these co-op kennel dogs, and been in the mix. But they'd rather do it on their own. They'd rather not take the hand. So now some rich family somewhere on a ranch got my dogs. Yeah, my man. Yeah, man, you gotta. Yo, I'm gonna tell you, Drew. Like your stud is nice, man. It's a big boy, and them joints is Philly ready. Like they right. They both of them dogs. Like I saw the head on the blue dog. The damn head was like the body didn't match the head. On the blue dog, I forget what you call a blue girl, but her head just didn't match her body. Like that shit looked crazy. Just and but people didn't take the opportunity, man. And I will never ever not take that opportunity, because those opportunities don't come back again. Now I'm the same person that I did get gorilla from. You want a dog, you're gonna have to, first of all, you're gonna have to get in line. First pick gonna be $3,500. Chanel Blanco. You're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to get in line for one of these dogs now. Now, mind you, it might be some deals coming down the pipeline, but whenever you get a dog, you want first pick, man. Not saying that, like, people always come to me like, "Yo, which pick is he?" That's another thing. Make picks and put prices on those picks for certain dogs, because people was really asking me, yo, who's first pick? Well, who's second pick? And I'm like, man, shit, nigga, everybody 2,500. So you don't want to confuse people. People don't like to think. They like to be steered in one direction like cattle. They like to be steered. So have a first pick, have a second pick. You know, you got to have a bottom pick too. But, you know, I had 2 litters recently. There was no bottom picks. You had some dogs that weren't as big and weren't as bodacious. And sometimes you can't even evaluate these dogs until they're like 12 weeks, truthfully. But if you don't have picks, then people don't want to feel like they pick it from the bottom. Pick it from the bottom. So, you know, that's another thing, the kennel blindness, man. People ask you a question, write it down. Take note. You know, I had a lot of people ask me, yo, you know where I can get a male? You know, people was asking me where else they could go. But I wasn't going to help nobody else. And that's messed up. But it was nobody else that I could send them to, you know, and vouch for them that had dogs, because I can't put my name on somebody else's name, and, you know, and I can't put money in your pocket. Like, I can't put thousands of dollars in your pocket if you can't put thousands in mine. So it's got to be a two-way street. So don't be afraid to be cordial and friendly, because I couldn't, man. I had at least 10 people ask me, because I ran out of males. I ran out of the males quick. Yo, who else? Would you recommend someone else? What? Hell no, nigga, you better wait till my next litter. But yeah, man, kennel blindness is a big thing. We're gonna hit all the notes. People don't want to breed to the standard of the dog. People breeding dogs that are either scared or overly aggressive. People are breeding hyperactive dogs. People are breeding dogs with allergies. People are being disrespectful to their customers, beefing online with other kennels. You got to beef with the other kennel, hit them up in his DM. Shit, we can beef in the DM. Not me personally, but I'm just saying you can beef in somebody's DM. You know what I mean? That's right to them. Nigga, look, I don't like you. I don't like what you did. I don't like what you said. I want my money back, bitch. And nobody got to know, because once you put it out there, now it's like, oh, I got to make it seem like I'm tough and da-da-da-da-da. But then you got all the customers watching. You got somebody like me that got 5K, baby. I got this 5K. I got this 5K, baby. Who am I spend it with? I'm just sitting around with the money. Shit, nigga, I got that money. Niggas don't know. I'm sitting around like this. Man, I feel like blowing 5K today. Where am I blow that 5K at? I ain't going over there. That nigga always yelling and shit. He always angry. Nah, he breeding mutts over there. He ain't got no papers. He ain't paying for the studs. Yo, he still owe for that dog. He don't owe none of them bitches. Oh, that dog right there, somebody gave him that for free. That bitch 5 years old. He trying to squeeze the last little bit of puppies out of her. You know? But thanks for everybody coming to the live, man. I was late because I was doing home improvements. But this joint got the jumping, man. We got the jumping in here. So, man, I appreciate all y'all, man. I'm out, yo. We out. We out.